Hello lovely people, thank you for visiting my channel. My name is Sharon, a very warm welcome to you. So the energy that I'm picking up today is a little bit tumultuous, let's put it that way. One of the cards, I've had 3 cards as I was shuffling my decks. I've had 3 cards that have come out. This is the first card, Distant Thunder. Now, I feel this distant thunder is kind of in the background. It's almost like it's waiting in the wings. The air is quite messy. I can see it's kind of blowing up a storm. The wind's getting up. This is what I'm visualizing in my head. What Spirit is saying to me is, as we can see this in this card, the figure is looking out of her window. So really what Spirit wants us to do is not to go into panic mode and just to be the observer at this time. They understand things are going on and it's worrying, if I'm honest. It is extremely worrying. But let's not go into panic mode. I think the key thing really to think about here is astrologically, it's very interesting because as of the 7th of July, Uranus goes into Gemini. And I think it's the first time in like 80 years or something like that. The last time Uranus was in Gemini was between 1941 and 1948, I believe. Obviously, we've had World War II during that time. And the time before that was when the US Civil War was on. And I've written myself a couple of notes, and the dates were 1858 to 1866. So in our case, Uranus goes into Gemini on the 7th of July 2025, and it leaves in around about 2033. So we've got it for 8 years or thereabout. I think it does kind of flip out or leave Gemini for an extremely short amount of time, whiz into Taurus and then back again into Gemini. So for those that don't understand what the Gemini energy is like, I am a Gemini sun, so I'm used to my own energy. It's very a typical Gemini, as I certainly am, will go from one thing to the next, thinking about 50,000 things all at once, wanting to go here, there and everywhere, wanting to learn this, that and the other. But at the same time, wanting to sit on the sofa and curl up with a book and your cat. But then the mind never stops, literally 24/7. This is the Gemini energy. And if you think of the tarot, just think of the swords. The swords in the tarot deck represent air energy. Now, Gemini is an air sign. That means our heads are in the clouds most of the time. Excuse me, my nose is running. Just right. Sorry, I do apologise. And the head is like, oh my God, okay, so what am I doing next? Where am I going? Here, there and everywhere. Now, Gemini is the queen of communication, the sign itself. And that's because it's ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the planet of communication. So I feel during these next 8 years or so, our technology, the communication will absolutely go through the roof. And we will get probably new things to do with AI, new designs of mobile phones, etc. But it's all going to be about communication. And I'm being told that the technology is absolutely going to go through the roof. It's going to have, like, it's almost like what I'm visualizing is I can see the ocean and I can see a tidal wave. And this obviously is in my head. I'm seeing this psychically. And on top of, like, the crest of the wave, you know, where the wave lifts up and it kind of rushes towards the shore. Well, on the top of the crest of the wave, I can see mobile phones and computers, and they're all kind of rushing towards us. And that is how I feel the energy that's coming towards us. But the spirit fam are saying, do not go into panic mode because we've got this in hand. Everything is as it should be. So just ride the wave. That's what literally they've just said to me. Just ride the wave. Because we have so much angelic help. Archangel Raphael is stepping forward. He is the Archangel of healing, and he deals with the heart chakra, which is why he comes in on the green ray, and he is usually represented in pictures, photographs, etc., wearing green or something along those lines, usually. Not every time, but usually. And that's really because the heart chakra is represented as green. And or pink, which we can see in this card now as well, which he's just given me a little nudge to say, just remind them that it can be represented in pink or green. What they're saying to me as well, and another card which really grabbed my attention and jumped out for us, is this one, generosity. And what they're saying, which is really important, is during this time of technological upgrades, because that's what it's going to be the next 8 years or so, we're going to get this massive surge. They're saying massive surge of technology upgrades. Don't forget about the people. So we must still look out for our neighbours if they are vulnerable, elderly, have mental health issues, etc. Because they're saying we are almost at a point now where we have lost the art of communication, and it's really important that we get that back. And everything that goes on this planet is to bring us back to our heart chakras, because the heart has to lead the way, whether we like it or not, whether we believe it or not. The heart always knows its way home. When we think about the Gemini energy, it can be quite turbulent, here, there, and everywhere, always up in your head. That is what this energy is kind of going to be a bit like. So that's why the spirit fam today are saying to us and just giving us this little nudge, loving nudge, and beautiful reminders that please don't forget about the people that might need our help, might need our assistance. You know, we are on this planet to learn, to observe, and to experience, period. That's it. That's it. And we decide to come back, we choose to come back to experience things, situations, people, etc., that we haven't seen before, that we haven't dealt with before, so that we can evolve the soul. We never stop learning, even when we transition to spirit. There is no beginning or end. There is never a time when you did not exist. There will never be a time when you will not exist. You're always around. We're here for it. We're like literally like the never-ending story. That is what each and every one of us is like. And this is the hardest planet. This is absolutely the hardest planet, where we have the most to learn. So this is rumbling away in the background. Let's get serious now. This really is rumbling away. But do not go into fear, because everything is in hand. Okay, it's going to be all right. Let's have a look, see what some of the other cards want to say on this subject. I can still see this tidal wave, and to be honest, it's absolutely beautiful. It's not scary to look at. Let's go to the tarot now. Just out of interest, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Tower. The old systems have to fall away. We have to allow them to fall away so that we can move into the new. And that will be new mindsets, new technology, new ways of thinking, new ways of seeing things that are happening. Okay. I'm getting the image now of, okay, it's Archangel Metatron, and he is standing above the earth. He is huge. His wingspan is literally the size of the earth. And that is saying to me that we are completely being looked after. They will not allow this planet to be destroyed. We'll only go so far. I understand that we are chopping down rainforests, etc., dropping litter, putting plastic in the oceans, and all this kind of things that we know go on a daily basis. But we can all do our bit, even if it's just recycling that old milk bottle. Just one thing makes a difference, they're saying. One thing. Yeah. Okay. So this is the attachment. This is what's keeping us trapped in fear. And this is the energy that wants to come in to bring this. But this frequency is far more powerful. The light will always overcome the dark. Always. Never fear, I'm hearing. So even though we're seeing this energy, step away. Just be the observer. Just be the observer. What they're saying is, yes, things might happen. Terrible things might happen. But it's all in hand. We are always safe and we are always protected, no matter what goes on, even if we don't believe it, or we don't understand that we can speak to spirit. They're never going to leave us. They don't go away. They don't, just because we might choose to ignore them or get annoyed with them, which I have done many times in my life. And that makes me feel guilty, but that's the human element of me that comes through. And as I always say, we are beautiful, magnificent souls having a human experience. Therefore, I have chosen to experience these feelings. But what we must remember is feelings of guilt, which stem from fear. There are only ever two emotions, ever. Love and fear. That's it. Everything else is kind of a strand of them. So with love, we can have passion, joy, happiness, etc. that comes from love. Okay, with fear, we can have guilt, grief, anger, you name it, that comes from fear. So, but we're here to experience, as I've said, step away from this fear. We are not trapped. I said this in a previous video, that we are all free spirits, and we're kind of going through the stage at the moment where we just think we're trapped and we can't get out of it. Well, we can, because all we have to do is think in a different way and open our hearts to love. Let's see what else. This is quite powerful energy. This is it's almost like I'm feeling like they really, really want me to be serious and really get the message across. Yeah. It's all about learning. We're just learning. It's teaching us a massive lesson. And that lesson is love, unconditional love, and community. Don't forget about the other people, because we are one. There is no separation. You might think I'm separated from you, but that's not the case. We are all linked by one core source, if you like. And that source is pure love. Nothing else. That's it. Nothing else. This is about us learning. We have the white dove of peace there. And we can see the crown chakra has been opened up there to receive information directly from source, because we are all connected. I'm seeing us all stood on top of a mountain, and we're kind of collectively, and we're looking down at what's going on, and I can see it's almost like the Himalayas. And I can see little villages dotted about. There's snow on the mountains. It's not cold though. You can't feel the cold. And we're just observing. And I can see like fighting. There's fires going on. I can hear noise, shouting, anger. I can feel the energy of anger, but it's not reaching us. It's not actually coming up as far as our mountain that we're stood on. That's why we're being asked to just be the observer. Don't absorb these lower vibrational energies, such as this, that want to come in and take over, because they won't win. And if we are in a high vibrational state, such as just being the observer, not the absorber, they can't touch us. Four of Cups. Allow what I'm hearing with this card is allow that loving energy to flow out. I'm sure you might have heard the expression, thy cup runneth over. Look at this card. That's absolutely beautiful. We can see behind this figure that the sun's coming out. When we do that, we step into our true passion and power. And ignore the scary narratives. That's what I've just heard. This figure's chakras are all in alignment as well. So I feel it's important to work on, particularly the heart chakra. I'm getting the heart chakra again. What we can do to help assist us with that is ask the energy, wonderful, beautiful, healing energy of Archangel Raphael, and start to visualize like a green wheel over your heart, and it's spinning faster and faster, and it's getting brighter and brighter and brighter green. That is bringing that into alignment with everything else. And you can do that with each and every chakra. It doesn't just have to be the heart. My card, as I always call it, the King of Love, my shepherd is the King of Cups. So this really is about us stepping into our power, into love, being master of that energy, each and every one of us. That's that tidal wave that I saw, actually. As I said, it's not scary, but we've got this massive rush of technology that's coming towards us. That's what it looked like to me. This here, we've got two whales here. They're kind of communicating with each other and with us as well. And they are saying to us, the ocean might seem massive and overwhelming, like our energy at the moment, or the potential of this energy might seem massive and overwhelming. But we're big enough and we're strong enough to swim right through this ocean of darkness here. These whales in the ocean, they're not afraid of the size of the ocean. They don't really think about it. They just believe that they're free, which they are, and so are we. They just tackle it head on, and that's what we've got to do. Let's see what else. 7 of Pentacles, heart chakra. Oh, that's just gorgeous. We've just have everything in hand. Sorry, I just marvel at the absolute beauty of some of the card decks that I have. All of them, obviously, because they're my choice. But no, because I'm all about the artwork, you see, and I just absolutely love it. So this really is about us knowing that we have everything we need. We're kind of in our own gardens here, if you like, and we've got everything there. There is no lack. The lack is in our mindset, our head, that Gemini head. And we have freedom in this card and transformation as well, along with the butterflies and the horses flying free. Now, this reading is not, what they're saying to me is just remind them that this reading is not meant to put anybody into fear, and it's not meant to be a warning in any way, shape or form. It's just giving you a little bit of a heads up that this potentially is on the horizon. But once we clear the air, like it tells us to, in other words, get out of our own head, get out of our own way, and start stepping into the heart, it's all good. It's all good. So we've now got the King of Pentacles. So we've got two kings here. King of Love, King of Pentacles. Powerful energy. They want us, okay, they've just said to me, they want us all to step into our kingship. You know, we don't have to have a throne of gold and a crown of diamonds on our head to be kings, because we all are. All we have to do is remember that in this card, you see, the earth is in a circle there with the tree of life. That we're always here. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. We never stop evolving. Even if we don't feel like we're getting anywhere, we certainly are. But the circle that the earth is in, says to me that we are infinitely held and we are safe and we are protected because we are in that circle of protection. So we even have the sun out behind this king's head. And this one as well. Look, we've got lots of suns. So the sun is shining on us all, even if we don't feel like it is at this time. It certainly is. Okay. This is our happy place. We will win this. We absolutely will win the fear. All we have to do is step through the illusion, because everything is an illusion. Spirit fam have said to me before that the earth has kind of been hijacked. So it kind of didn't really start out this way, what they're saying. But along the way, this kind of low vibrational energy has sort of stepped forward and taken over. And we are now moving into a time where we are starting to break free of this. And what that means is that more and more people are starting to remember who they are. An absolutely outstanding spiritual being having a human experience. That's what people are remembering. Stepping away from the BS that is fed to us on a daily basis, not tapping into the narrative that we're told. Because as I've said in previous videos, we're only ever told half the story on anything. I feel I can still see us on top of this mountain. And there's an angel around us all. And it is Metatron again. So we've got the 9 of Cups as well. This is our love overflowing for each and every single person on this planet. So Metatron is surrounding us, and I can see his wings are absolutely surrounding the collective, the earth, at this time. Dove of peace with the heart. Once we step into our hearts, we have all this transformation here. And that love really is overflowing for humanity. So please don't forget other people. Because lots of people are struggling. And we know that when we watch the news, if we watch the news, there are bad things that go on this planet, but there's also a lot of good as well. So let's try and stay on that level and tap into that vibration of the goodness. Let's go for another angel. The angels are really speaking to us today, aren't they? So let's go for another angel card, and then I think we'll wrap this up. Let's have a look. Archangel Azrael. It is time to let go, prepare for change. Gorgeous card, stunning card. This is almost kind of like the wings that I can see with Metatron that is wrapped around the earth, wrapped around us. So change is on the horizon. It's not all bad. Technology will go through the roof, I feel, with Uranus when it goes into Gemini on the 7th of July. But it's good. But what we have to remember is we are manifesting that ourselves. Because, again, we always want bigger, faster, better, don't we? So that's coming from us. So let's not moan about it, say, oh, no, that's far too technical for me. I can't cope with that. We are manifesting it ourselves. It's coming from us. Okay? And what we have to remember is everything starts in the head. Everything starts with a single thought. Everything that's ever been invented has all started with one single thought. That's how powerful we are. That's how powerful the mind is. And when we all stand together, it's just beyond amazing what can happen. We have our happy ever after. If you ever think that you don't have any power, okay, let's talk about the thing that happened in 2020, okay? So I can remember our Prime Minister saying at the time, did his announcement, you must stay at home. Okay, so that's fine that he's done that. But what would have happened, this is what Spirit is saying they want us to think about. What would have happened if the whole of the UK, which are quite a lot of people, fair few thousand people, million probably, I should say, million. What would have happened if we'd have all stood up and said no? Where's the power then? You see, we always seem to think that somebody else has power over us, just because they might be more attractive, they've got more money, flashier clothes or whatever. Have they got more power over us? No, they have not. We all have power. Each and every one of us has power to change. So, one more card. Let's have an affirmation card and then we'll wrap this up. Ultimately, it's going to be okay. Everything is going to be fine. So we have, my thoughts are creative. Need the specs so that I can read this to you. So, I say out to every negative thought that comes to my mind. No person, place or thing has any power over me. What were we just talking about? For I am the only thinker in my mind. I create my own reality and everyone in it. So that's a really, really beautiful ending message, I think. Just a little reminder, we are the ones that have the power. So step back into your heart and the storm that is kind of waiting in the wings to come in will dissipate and the sun will come out. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching. I'd like to thank my Spirit fam for being here and giving us these messages. They were quite powerful today, I feel. Thank you so much, and thank you to my beautiful cards. I think that's everything. Any final messages? No. Please like and subscribe if you feel so inclined. It helps get the message out to more wonderful people such as yourselves. Take care, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.